Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Baja Pips, and today I'm going to be doing some day trading live on my Top Step account. I'm going to be starting. It's currently 10:41 p.m. I'm currently in Seoul, South Korea, and I'm going to be doing some futures trading on my Top Step X. Just want to show y'all, I'm going to be doing some ES and NQ. So those of you that are familiar with trading NASDAQ and the S&P minis, I'm going to be taking a look at those. And I'm also going to be breaking down the euro dollar and why I'm discontinuing that pair as of right now. So I'm going to open up my Top Step X. Give me a moment while I pull that open. Just signing into my account right now, and then I'll share the screen. Don't want to show my private information. I'm going to present the screen right now so you all can see. All right, so this is the Top Step X Combine account. And I'm going to get started. So just showing y'all everything is set up here, and this is in real time. It's currently 10:43 p.m. Have to update my time zone since I just started trading out here in Korea. Just bear with me for a moment. So this is a part of my pre-trade routine. I'm just getting everything set up. So I'm currently in Seoul. And you can see I have two screens. So I was trading euro dollar and I was doing some live cattle as of last week, but I kind of stopped and just doing something different stuff because the euro dollar has been experiencing a lot of chop, as you can see, even in this session. It's just been a lot of chop. I'm gonna run this through real quick. But on the bottom screen, I'm gonna open something new. I'm gonna do ES. So I have to change my chart links. Just give me a few moments to set it up. But what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be going through my pre-trade routine. I'm going to be getting set up, and I'm also going to make sure that the lot size is ideal for my account size. So I'm going to open up my practice account and place a couple orders just so I can see the average stop loss limit, and then I'm going to get started to making sure that my risk is assessed. So let's go on to, I would do the S&P 500, but those are on the futures. It's pretty big for this account size. I'm gonna do the mini S&Ps. Where is the E-mini? The NASDAQ. Okay, mini NASDAQ. So micro NASDAQ, and then I also need to see the micro S&P. Euro, S&P 500. Running a little bit late today, but it's totally fine. I just relocated, and I'm in a different location right now. So it's just traveling and trading on the go. Take off some of these favorites that I'm no longer using. And focus on the very few. Perfect. I'm gonna do the micro. Let's do the micro NASDAQ because a lot of people are trading NASDAQ nowadays. Hopefully y'all can hear me too. Let me just adjust my settings. That lighting is way off. Yeah, hopefully I try to put some music in the background, but hopefully it's not too loud. All right, perfect. So I'm going to start off by orientating my chart, and I'm going to be making sure that this is on the 10-week average for NASDAQ. The website I use is Mataf. I'm going to show y'all that right now. It's called Mataf Forex Volatility Calendar. I'm going to share that tab right here. So I like to look at this every Monday, just one time a week, just so I can see the average 10-week average volatility of every pair that I trade, just so I can know where to orientate my y-axis. So this is Forex pairs. I'm going to include the indices. So there's the SPX 500 and the NASDAQ 100. So the NASDAQ is about 367 pips or 1.69%. So I'm going to transfer that over to my top step. So 1.67, I believe I said. So this is 0.26. I have to make the y-axis a little bit different. And if you want to know why I do this, I explain this in my trainings to all of my clients. And I might actually write an article on this. And see how the context is looking a lot different. Go back to the Mataf so I can see what it was. .69%. All right. So it doesn't look like there's much going on once I do change this. As you can see, it's barely moving. Very grindy, very rangy. And as of right now, there's not much going on. So I'm assuming maybe during the NYSE Open, we're going to have more action, and that's going to happen in about 40 minutes from now. But would I trade this market based off of what I see right now? Absolutely not. It doesn't look like it's much going on. There's definitely potential for trades, but I wouldn't touch this. Let me take a look at the S&P. And if there's nothing's good, then I'm just going to take a walk away and come back during the NYSE Open. Take a look at the S&P right now, the micros. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to the volatility calendar and just go to the S&Ps. SPX 500, and it's about 1.25%. I'm going to convert that. It's been a while since I made a video, so those of you that were wondering, I have been doing recordings. It's just been private with my one-on-one clients. This one I decided on doing a little public appearance. Once again, as you can see, it's just all very low movement. I'm gonna take a look at the news. That's another thing I check is the economic calendar. Let's see what's going on with the economic calendar and see if there's any, what I say, there's any special news. Here's the economic calendar. I'm gonna click on my time zone again, all the way in Seoul, so we're GMT +9 ahead of the world. It's a Japanese holiday, but it's not any US nor European, so it's definitely tradable. There's CPI earlier um, that passed. Yeah, there's nothing to look forward to. Check for tomorrow. Yeah, nothing going on. So pretty odd to have this low movement. We're gonna roll with what we get. In 8 minutes, there's some Euro news, but that's about it. Go back onto this tab. Let's take a look at the Euro dollar. No movement today. Euro dollar is about, let's see what it is this week. About 78 pips. Over here, we're gonna do 78 pips. See right here, so 77, 78. Oh, this is a micro S&Ps. Apologies for that. I don't know why it's 6H. Okay. Euro FX right here. As you can see, there's nothing going on here neither. When I look at this, do a little brief measurement. It's barely moved 15 pips in the past hour. So not much happening right now. Everything is rangy. What I normally do is I look at the pre-market context so I can see if it's something that I would trade for right now. If it's choppy and it's not showing that my triggers are working out, I leave it alone. But if it is an ideal day and my setups look like they're working a couple hours before my session, then I will trade. Let's take a look, just seeing what's going on. Marked off the highs and lows of the day. I know I said I wasn't going to trade euro dollar. I'm not, but I'm just breaking this down to show y'all how I do this. Looking at the London session right now. Seeing how price action was playing out. A little fake out right there, a little second chance that worked out. Came down, new daily lows. Pulls back, another fake out, second chance, faked out. It's not good. Price kind of got congested for a little while. Tested daily lows, rejected it, came back into the former range, pulls back, a little bit deep of a pullback. So price has just been drifting. Pops on up, pulls back, nothing. Wouldn't touch any of this. Breaks new daily lows, pulls back, triggers, fails into the US Open. So I would definitely not be trading this today. By the way, this is London session is an hour later because I'm in Korea. You see how I have to adjust. So as I travel, I'm just reminding myself that the time zone is different. So 22 o'clock is when the NY Open started. But as of right now, I can still read the price action and it's pretty choppy. I wouldn't touch any of this. There's another trigger right here around 22.12. That's RBR for those of you that know. And it's failed. So I definitely would not be touching this pair this session. It's extremely choppy. And this is why I'm straying away from the euro dollar and looking at other pairs. So, problem with the S&Ps and NASDAQ is that it's very low movement. And as you can see from the start of this NY session, we don't have much neither. So, doing the same thing over here, marking off the daily lows and the daily highs. Oops. Going back to the earlier session where the market opened, making sure I don't miss anything. See right here, it says 7 o'clock. So there was a little bit lower lows down here. All right, and now I have the daily range marked up. So yeah, I don't even need to look at London session from this because I can already see that the movement has just been so low and minuscule. I wouldn't be interested in this pair. This was old daily highs. Mark that off right here. I'll read the narrative for you all. Price tested the old daily highs, came back in, rejected it, pulls back, triggers down, and it goes into straight drift mode for like over an hour, couple hours drift. Wouldn't touch any of this. Price comes down, tries to break that drifty range, fails, comes back in, fails. And that's pretty much it. We have a choppy day for both pairs. Pre-market on S&P, it has been choppy. Take a look at the micro NASDAQ. I believe I said it was 1.67%. I can also show you all the NASDAQ so you can see that it's the same. Micro is just a smaller risk. So if you have a smaller size account, I would recommend trading the micros. If you have a larger account, then you can definitely trade the full position. But let me look at the NASDAQ. Today might be a no trade day for me, to be honest. I don't see anything that I'm interested in. There's a lot of pairs on this, so bear with me for a moment while I look for NASDAQ. I know I passed by it like a couple of times. Micro, NASDAQ. There we go. Yeah. Y-axis really does help because you can actually see, it looks like there's a lot of activity, a lot of action when I have it expanded. But then when I do the average, it looks like you can see the true PA. And for this, it looks very dry as well, very flat markets today. So I'm just going to leave that alone if we don't get anything. So marking out the highs and lows of the day as well over here. Going back to the beginning of the day. The real lows from that gap. And I'm going to read it from the London session. Former daily highs was right here. Price came in, tested it, failed. RTR, boom. That was solid. And there's a little TC South pulls in, a little drifty, but it was working. Then price started getting to a little mini range, comes in, RBR, triggers, works partially, but comes back to break even and nothing achieved. Then we have a RT South right here. That goes about 1 hour before coming back towards break even. I would have trailed out at break even. Now we're back in the former range. We're on the cusp. I wouldn't really touch this, but it does trigger a little bit. Light RBR, a little variation around 2230 or 2030. I wouldn't touch that, but now we're in the US session at this point. 22 o'clock. So give me a moment. NQ looks much better. Definitely looks much better to trade NASDAQ today, but we'll see when the NYSE opens because it's still very small, very low movement. And I don't want to trade that. I want to trade something that actually has action. So I'm going to come back in about 25 minutes and I'm going to pause the video and I'll update y'all shortly. If there's nothing at the NYSE open, I'm going to just call it a day and it's going to be a pretty short day. But if there is an increase in participation, then I'm going to trade for about half an hour. So pause the video, come back. As of right now, no trading. It's not even worth it. I'll be back, y'all. All right, everyone. I'm back, and it's currently 11:31 p.m., 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to get back to the charts because we had a little break. There was not much action, so I'm going to present the charts right now as we are now in NYSE Open. Just give me a moment while I share the screen. I have about 30 minutes of action, so if I don't see anything, I'm going to sum up my day. So you can see I have at the top, this is live cattle, and I'm also going to be looking at lean hogs. And then the bottom is mini NQ. I already have the chart orientated and I have everything set up. You can see the live action happening right now. And I'm going to just get over to the screen. And if I see any setups, I will trade it. Once again, you can see my portfolio is quite diversified today. I have a lot of pairs that I'm looking at, but I did discard the euro dollar and the S&P because those were more unfavorable setups. I'm going to just mark off the highs and lows of the day on live cattle. So waiting for this 3-minute bar to close and I'll see just what's going on here. And red, I'm going to put as live cattle, LEJ. There we go. Everything is all set up. The reason why I put mini NQ because it does have potential. Although it is, how would I say, it's not really that great of movement. It's very rangy, just low movement today. I do want to see what happens on the NYSE Open. Triggers overall have been pretty solid. Haven't been the greatest, but it's been pretty solid. So I'm going to trade this today. Not forcing anything. I just know what I want. So you can see the highs and lows of the day for live cattle was just marked off right here. And mini NQ is going to be right here. So right before I take my trade, I'm going to be assessing my lot sizes so I can see how many contracts I need to trade. And then I'm going to place the order, but I'm not going to do that until I'm right before I start trading. I'm going to commentate price action, let y'all know what I see. And if I see any anomalies or anything close to triggering my setups, I will trade. Forgot to mark off the highs and lows on mini NQ. I'm not trading NQ, I'm doing mini NQ. Just bear with me for a moment while I mark these off. As you can see, it's a pretty quick process. Doesn't take long. I'm going to focus on two today. I'm not going to trade 4 screens or anything like that. Just going to focus on two. A little bit tired. I've been traveling a lot and didn't really get much time to do that much practice this weekend because I was in transit. But I'm going to be looking over everything this week. Let's see. So normally I would have about 4. I don't like to do anything more than 6. That's a little bit much. But that's when I'm fully ingrained and integrated in stocks. Right now, I'm not. Okay, so live cattle just broke off daily highs. We have a nice bull rally thrust breaking on the highs of the day. Let's see if that holds or if a bears come in. Also looking at the NASDAQ, and we can see that it's kind of 50-50 right now. Bears and bulls are pulling, but I'm going to let it settle down, and I'll let y'all know when I'm closer to my trigger. Looks like they were going towards highs of the day, and it's rejecting it right now. I don't really see any reason to take a trade. There's no setups. There's no triggers just yet. Just a bunch of nonsense. Just marking off this lower range that we're in right now. Ironic how they're both going opposites of each other right now. They don't even correlate. Live cattle is a commodity, and NQ is an index, so they don't have anything in relation. NASDAQ is tech stocks, and of course, live cattle is not even technology. It's see what's going on. Yes, animals. As you can see, my hands are off the mouse, and I'm not pressing anything. I'm just watching, reading the price action, seeing what I can find. And if I do see anything ideal, I'll call it out. But for right now, nothing. It's a little too early in the session to make an assumption. Live cattle, we can see some more buyers step in. I may be interested in a potential long. I like NASDAQ too, but we are getting close to that daily low. And I would like to see price bears push past the daily lows, pull back, and then set me up for a nice trigger. So we'll see. Whichever one comes first is the one I'm going to take. The maximum amount of contracts I'm able to use on this account size for Top Step is 5. So I will be reducing that because I don't plan on trading with 5 contracts unless it's really small for my stop loss. I'm not a big fan of NASDAQ right now. Even though it's okay, the movement has just been very congested and it's not ideal. I like to see more volatility on a day like today, even though it's Monday. And live cattle, I want to see some more buyers step in. As of right now, I'm not super interested. I want to pull up another chart. I want to pull up lean hogs. Let's see if I can do 3. So NQ is going to be at the bottom. There we go. Why not? I'll pull up 3. So let's pull up the lean hogs on the other side. Oops. That's not what I want. I need a different color. I need to color code this one. Change the link. Change blue. And that's going to be for this chart. It's going to be lean hogs. Okay. This color is going to be blue. So we can see the difference. It's going to double check what lean hogs movement is. The lean hogs future is about 1.6 is what it's showing me. Yeah, about 1.6. I have it pulled up on another screen. Do the same with this. Mark off the daily highs and lows of lean hog. And lows right here. Oops. So lean hog just fully rejected. It's 1.4. That's good enough. Yeah, now I have 3 things on my screen. 3 pairs. Whichever one sets up first is the one I'm going to take. I do like NASDAQ if the bears can continue pulling down. But if not, I'm also taking a look at live cattle. It's really nice thrust. Lean hog is not that great. Bulls were completely rejected. Going to the red. It's going to be my live cattle. Yeah, I'm just waiting for something to set up. So as you can see right here, this is my most favorable pair right now. Although this one is kind of countering the live cattle, as you can see. This is moving on up, really nice bull rally. I'm waiting for a pullback or a pause, and then I'll trigger in on the north side. Right here, I don't like the fact that it's kind of congesting right near the lows of the day. If the bears are really that strong, I need to see bears break daily lows and continue on down. And then lean hogs is my least favorite. It's like it broke daily highs, faked out, came back into the tight range, and it's just moving sideways within that tight range. I need to see more sellers come in or buyers regain control. So right now, just not interested. So this right here is nice. This is okay. And as far as setups, this will be on my TC North if I can get a nice pause or pullback followed by my trigger. And this is a potential TC South if we can break on down further and trigger me in. So I'm just going to wait. It's a waiting game. That's what trading is a lot of times, just sitting here waiting. It's a little bright. Let me cut this light off. Oh, that's a little too dark now. There's a lamp nearby, but it's bright. Hopefully y'all can see me and I don't look like a ghost. There we go. It's a hotel setup, so I'm not too familiar with it. So I have about 15 to 17 minutes. So once it says 24 o'clock over here, I'm going to call it a day. If I don't see any setups, it's just been pretty dry all day. So like I said in the pre-market, it was not much going on. And yeah, these are more like, these move like stocks, the lean hogs and live cattle. So from the open, I do want to see lots of movement followed by quick, easy trigger, and then I'll be good. But if it's going to start stalling out and messing around, I'm going to leave it alone. The reason why I like to trade more than one stock at a time is because I don't want to be too invested in one. I don't want to have like a strong bias and price doesn't do much. Like if I only looked at lean hogs today, I would only be looking at this, and I'd be kind of more prone to taking a less ideal setup, if that makes sense. But because I have multiple things I'm watching, I can just see which one is an obvious no and just pick the best one and keep them on going. I'm going to show y'all what I do. I'm going to potentially get ready for a trade for live cattle. So I'm going to go into my practice account so I can just see the lot sizes. I'm going to do something small today because it's not the greatest day. To see what one contract would be on. Make sure the color's right. Make sure that the instrument is right. Always check. And if I am looking for a potential long, I'm looking at the countdown right here. There's about 2 minutes, 11 seconds left in this bar. I'm going to measure it, making sure that it's ideal. It's less than 2%. That's kind of my goal for my stop losses on stocks. It's about 0.6%. And by the way, this is not a stock, but like I said, it moves very similar to one. So that's why I'm calling it. All right, looks good. So this is a very small stop loss. Let's see what 2 would be. So I'm just going to run some practice.
Order filled.
Ooh, that guy sounds crazy. But yeah, that's okay. 80. And this is not my trade, by the way. I'm just checking to
Order
see
filled.
What my lot size would be for a bar size like this. But now it's increasing, so I'll probably need to use one contract. This is about 1.2, about 1.2%. It's getting a little bit larger, as you can see. I'll probably use one contract on live cattle, and that's the only one really setting up. I'm not interested in NQ because we just revisited daily lows. Look all the way back over here. And you remember the daily lows was right here, 7 o'clock, price gapped, and that was a daily low. So if it's not breaking that daily low, it's just drawing some concerns, some questions. Why is it not breaking daily lows? And what is going to happen if it does? Now I'm going to go back over to my Combine accounts, and I'm going to get ready for a potential trade if bulls can rally back on up. It's still an ideal stop loss. It's not too big. It is getting a little bit large, but it's okay. It's a 3-minute chart, so I do accept slightly larger bars. Okay. The bulls can immediately take this on up and they're not pulling back any further. Then I'll look for long. If they are going to continue dripping a little bit more south towards the former daily highs, I might leave it alone, or maybe even look for a short to the downside. You see how my narrative changes? So I'm scenario planning. That's what it's called, scenario planning. And I'm just looking for the best setup regardless of bulls or bears. I'm very neutral. Okay, we can kind of have a little stop loss right here on this bar. That'll be really nice. I want to see bears fail to take it down further and then it turn green. and then bulls come in, and that's when I'm going to look for a potential long towards the upside. I'm actually going to draw it out for you all. Just a moment. Yeah, so this bar right here. Oops, wow. I don't know why I moved over there. This bar right here. Just waiting for this time to count down, maybe the last 30 seconds. I'll start measuring the bar. This, we can see a complete rejection, but it's rangy, and I'm really not interested in this pair. Of course, if bears can continue taking it southbound and then pull back and trigger, then I'll take it. But if not, then this is no bueno. I don't like that. So process of elimination, I've already taken this one out of my consideration. So I'm only looking at these two. Circle that right here. These two. Live cattle and NASDAQ. And it's also not really in season for lean hogs right now. So there's going to be a lot of choppy or flat days, and that's understandable. Live cattle is in season, and it's at some all-time highs. So I'd rather look at this. See, the buyers did step in. I read this bar by bar, tick by tick. It's not a super hard challenge for me. It's when I do it every day. All right. So we have about 30 seconds left, and I'm going to use one contract for this one. Just going to get a quick trade or two, and we have about 10 minutes, so that would be really nice. So I'm going to get ready, making sure that it's on the right instrument. Okay, LEJ25, one contract, get ready for a long. I want to see NQ reject these daily lows or continue breaking it, but I'm going to get ready for this trade right here on LEJ25, potential long. If buyers could pass on the last 3-minute highs, I want to see them pass and I want to see them hold. So a couple of things I'm looking for. There's no guarantees though. I'm not predicting. I'm just reacting. So if that does happen, we'll see. Yeah, NQ needs, I need to see more bears come in. Okay, so the pullback continues on live cattle, so I'm gonna leave that alone for another 3 minutes or 2 minutes now. Same thing. If this is basically each bar is showing that the bears are struggling to push it down farther, each 3-minute interval, and that's giving me more confidence to pull my trigger when the time is right. But we'll see, because bulls do need to step in soon. NQ looks like the best thing right now, though. I like this. This is what I like to see. So it did break daily lows. Let's see if it can hold and then trigger, and I'll be able to take that trade. You can see how my buy changes. I shift from different pairs at different times. Oh, nice. NQ is bleeding now. This is way better than Euro. See, I was stuck on Euro for so long. I'm glad I'm transitioning away from the Euro dollar. I noticed it was choppy for quite a while. It's been like a few weeks. I was actually inactive in that pair for the past 3 weeks. I did not touch Euro dollar. I was trading live cattle and other pairs. The NQ is bleeding past daily lows. That's amazing. That's exactly what I want to see. Lean hogs, I'm leaving that alone. It's not my setup, not my context of the day for that. Live cattle's rejecting those former daily highs. Let's see what they do. I like NQ a lot though. I really do like NQ. I just need to see a pullback or a pause. It's a little too early. I'm going to measure live cattle as I may potentially take a trade on this one. It's about 1%. That's ideal. So whichever one sets up first, I'm going to take. They may actually both set up at the same time, so I might be in both of them. Goodbye, lean hogs. All right. Carefully considering everything on the chart. Nothing. So the buying pressure on live cattle is pretty much gone at this moment. So I'm no longer interested in longs. Now we may be able to set up for some shorts if bears can hold inside of this former range. Just gonna have to wait and see. But I'm definitely not interested in longs. And look at this. This is not my setup. This is really ugly. It's like the pullback is just too deep. Yeah, the pullback is too deep for this. It's like inside that former range. So even if it does trigger north, I'm not going to take it because the bears are just as strong as the buyers. And it's telling me that it's pretty even. It's an even fight right now. Leave that alone. I'm looking at NQ. It's a nice downtrend. So we'll see what's up. I would look at ES, but it's too many pairs. I wanted to focus on 3 today. Maybe I'll go slightly into overtime just because I do notice that there is a potential setup happening. And if I'm reading it right, I don't want to miss out on the opportunity. It's not FOMO. It's just something setting up. I'm going to give it a little bit of more time just to see what's going on. If all the clues are there, then I'll take it. NQ is bleeding, but there's nothing. There's nothing from me. There's no pullback. There's no trigger. Leave that one alone. See that live cattle fully reversed. It looked like it had potential, and then instantly bears just came and took over. But now we're inside of that former range, and I don't see much happening until we can at least break on down and continue to hold. And this, I'm not chasing that because there's nothing. I'm just going to wait. Hopefully we get a pullback and a nice trigger to go south. Let y'all know shortly. You can see the difference in the context, though. A lot of movement, not much. So if you were to pick between the three, you can definitely tell the difference. They're all moving differently. This is more of a reversal happening. This is pretty flat. And this is a downtrend, very clear, very obvious, but there's nowhere for me to get in yet. So I have to wait. I don't want to chase price. That's FOMO. So here we are in the next hour. I'm going to give it a few minutes. And if I don't see anything, I'm going to close up shop. I don't want to go too much into overtime, but something's telling me that NQ may be setting up, maybe even the LE. So give it a few minutes. If there's nothing, I'll leave it. But I have a feeling that something might set up. There's no major news announcements. There's no gray swan events, no black swan events, nothing. So on a day like this, it should show something. We'll see. I'm a little tired as well. So if I don't see anything in the next few minutes, I'm going to call it a day. I need to see a pullback at this point. For LE, I need to see this continue to crash on down or something. And then for this, I need to see a pullback. I'm actually going to move the highs of the day. I'm going to move the daily range up here now, because we expanded the range after it failed to break out. So I just kind of moved that. So we have a large range. Maybe we could fail this a little breakout. I'll show y'all in just a moment what I'm looking at. So yeah, you see how we're not really going anywhere, even though sellers do look strong. I want to see maybe sellers fail the breakout, buyers come back in, followed by a little pause or pullback, and I might take it for reversal, potentially taking out these stops up here, because there's stop losses for sellers up here. That's if that sets up that way, because right now it doesn't look as strong as it seems. I know sellers look like they're dominant. They have been dominant in this quarter, but the velocity is low, because you can see on this, it took 1, 2, 3 bars. So about 9 minutes to bring price that high. This one is taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars just to bring it back to the daily lows. So of course, the velocity is stronger on the way up. So I'm looking for potential weakness in these sellers and possible trigger up. Lean hogs, it's okay. It's just not, it is dropping down. It's more the constant pair today. It's just, I don't really see any setups. And if you're looking at all of these, and you're looking for a short, which one would you go with? So the one that looks like there's nice long bars going on down, or the one that looks like it's like little short dwarf bars? See, these are like little short dwarf bars. I don't like that. I'll give it like 6 to 10 more minutes. If I see something cool, if not, then call it a day. I'm not going to force myself to find something, to look for something. If it's just not if it's one of those days where it's not working out, it's just one of those days, I didn't lose any capital, and that's preservation right there. So we'll wait and see. The euro dollar was trash. I'm going to show y'all that while I wait. Let's go back to the euro dollar. Y-axis on this was 78 pips. Just getting it marked up. Gotta have patience. You can't be jumping in and out of everything. Euro dollar just broke daily lows. But because it's been choppy, I don't even want to touch it. It's been real choppy. I'm going to leave that alone, the euro dollar. Yeah, y'all, there's not really much I can do right now. Ooh, I don't like any of this. Couple more bars. See what's up. Couple more. We'll see. If there's nothing, there's nothing. Can't force it. See if we got a pullback coming. That's what I'm looking for. That NQ is bleeding, but there's nothing. No way I can get in on this. Let's see. See, this is the weak breakout on live cattle. It's not that strong. Just wanted to show y'all euro dollar in comparison. Look at all these tiny, chunky little bars. You see that? But on live cattle, we can see is much bigger bars. And then NQ is really like the biggest mover of the day, but there's no way to get in. And at this point, it's obvious it's bearish. It's obvious it's dropping. So, my question is, why would I go on a sell trigger if everyone can see it's bearish? So let's see. Almost done with this session. Just a couple more bars, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. Is it gonna be a trade day or is it gonna be a no trade day? Good question. 33 seconds left in this bar. Each of these. This is big. This is major. This is what I've been anticipating and waiting for. Waiting for a little rollover. See, I knew the wave has to end at some point. These two down waves I'm looking at. Let me show y'all my visual tools. So this down wave coming on down, it has to end at some point. Same with this one. They both have to end. And when they end, then I'll be able to see if they bend. There's a saying, there's a term, the trend is your friend until the end when it bends. So you don't want to chase it. That's why I don't want to get in on any of these red bars, because at any moment, buyers could step in. And then what are you going to do if you have no plan? Now, chasing it, there would be no plan. It's like, where's the stop loss? What's your strategy? It's question marks. So NQ is also pulling back. So I like that. If NQ can pull back and trigger down south, I'll take that. If live cattle can pull inside and trigger, I'll take that. I don't like this breakout. It's really weak. It's like really weak. We got a minute and some change left. I want to just see what the mini NQ, what that would be. It's the white color. All right. And just going to measure this as we're getting dwindling down. About 1.6%. It's okay. I'll go on to my other combine so I can measure the lot size to say if I want
Order filled.
Just want to see. That's about 45, 70. I'll probably end up doing one contract.
Order filled.
All right, there we go. It's just a quick way for me to assess my risk. I know some people have calculators on the side, but when you're dealing with this many pairs, it's really difficult. So to pull out a calculator for everything, so I just rather just do a quick measurement and just assess my risk manually. You can see the buyers really coming in strong right here on live cattle. This might be a reversal back into the daily range. I might look for a potential long on that if NQ fails to bring it down. But I'd also like NQ. It looks like a pretty clear, obvious drop. I'm going to do one contract on each. Like I said, just a light day. I just want to give y'all some, this is just a updated video. Those of you that haven't seen me trade in a while, show y'all how I'm doing. All right, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Let's see if this bar closes and get that little trigger. If not, I'm gonna leave it alone. So I have two potential setups right now. Euro dollar, I'm not touching that. I just want to leave it open in the background for y'all to see just how choppy it is and how it's moving compared to the rest. NQ is still pulling back. I don't like this live cattle. I want to see more buyers stepping in. Right now, it's just not ideal. So process of elimination. I might actually get rid of live cattle as well because it's also kind of chopping around. It's like it's trying to trigger to the south, but it's not my setup. It's not enough buying pressure coming in for me to build enough conviction to take that trade. So I'm going to leave that one alone. But I will look at mini NQ. This is like probably it for the day. So you can see through process of elimination. I got rid of lean hogs. I didn't like it. I got rid of euro dollar. I didn't like it. I got rid of S&P. It could have been traded, but if I were to pick between NASDAQ and S&P, NASDAQ was the most ideal. And live cattle, I'm also getting rid of because it's triggering to the downside, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to go. Only reason why I'm still taking it into consideration is that buyers could step back in. Let me show y'all on the drawing tools. And I'm really tired, by the way, so I'm done in a few minutes if I don't see a setup. So what I want to see is buyers come back in, take out these recent interval, 3-minute interval highs, and then pull back and go up. That's going to take some time. And if it doesn't do that right away, I'm going to call it a day. So this might be a fake out. Like I said, it just triggered to the downside. So this is the TC South variation, but I don't like it. And it's not one that I would take. So remember, I told y'all that if you're a client of mine, you work with me, you train alongside with me, I mean, I emphasize just a lot. I say that TCs and a lot of my strategies that I trade, they're going to pair all day, every day. They're going to pair all the time. It doesn't mean you're supposed to take them. There's going to be a lot of times when you actually don't take them, because most of the times price action is trash. It is junk. So you don't want to just trade because it's setting up. Let me take a look at this NQ. I might go for a short. Sellers coming in strong. About 2.5% though. It's a little bit on the bigger side for my stop. My only problem. It can be traded, but stop loss is just a little bit large. Maybe this bar can this current 3-minute bar can kind of close out a little bit smaller, and that would be a better trigger bar. So we'll see. Sometimes all it takes is just one trade. It's not about taking a bunch. It's just about taking the highest quality ones you can find. And believe it or not, that can make a living. A lot of people have the misconception that trading is like a video game and you're pressing buttons all the time, and that's not true. A lot of it is sitting on your hands. My hands are not being sat on, but you get what I mean. Just being on standby and being ready to be active if prompted, but if not, be very disciplined and honest with yourself and just saying, hey, I don't know this, I'm going to stay out, or I don't like this, I'm going to stay out, or hey, this is checking all the boxes for me to go. I'm definitely going to be ready and prepared. And when I am, I'm not going to put too much into this bias because this may not work out. So very psychological. So 1 minute left. And yes, I'm recording and I would like to upload this. And so, of course, I would prefer getting into a trade, but I'm not forcing myself to find a setup. It's just a matter of, if I do, hey, it'll be on the recording. If I don't, it'll be on the recording. In the past, that's one reason why I kind of stopped recording, was because I was looking for trades that weren't really the best because I wanted to fit it in my recording, and that was not smart. So I was taking some silly setups in the past, and I just had to take a break and just remind myself that I'm doing this for me primarily, but if I am helping you, that's great. Look at trigger one, just wait. Give it a moment. I want to see sellers really pull on down on NQ. I'm selling it right now. See NQ.
Order filled.
Gonna measure this. Yep, I like that. So there we go, NQ. Stop loss is gonna be about 89. There we go. So NQ, I'm in some shorts, and that's official. That's my trade of the day. Let's see if it goes. Go for about 2R, maybe 2.5. Take it on down to daily lows. Nice calm breaths. Make sure that your breath work is right. You're not hesitating. You're not huffing and puffing. You're not going crazy. You're not super euphoric nor super scared. Don't be scared. It's just another trade as long as your risk is assessed properly. Okay, so was it worth it? Hey, I mean, I'm in the trade live in real time. Small trade, small order, totally fine. It's one of those flat days. I just wanted to get something on recording for y'all. Let's see, this is 1.7 R. It's 2.3. I would like to take it on down to 2.5, but we'll see. NQ is bleeding, about to be up 1 R already. I'm going to trail my stop loss to break even once we're up 1 R. Also, wait for the bars to close. It's very important. So this I'm leaving alone. Euro dollar leaving alone. And NQ, I'm going to expand this chart so you all can see the one trade that I'm in right now. Currently up on NQ. Really nice, beautiful trigger. That's what I was waiting for the whole session. Went a little overtime, so it happens. No guarantees neither. I'm not predicting. I'm just reacting to what I saw. I still need to see price. I still need to manage my position. So this is my performance phase. I was in my being phase, then I was in my production phase. Now I'm in my performance phase where I'm managing the positions and I am adhering to my rules. There's no need for me to trail my stop just yet because it's too soon. So I must wait until price action goes further in either direction. After taking thousands of these trades in both live and practice simulations and real environments, I know what to do and what not to do according to my own rules and guidelines. This may or may not work out. If it doesn't, hey, it's a small risk, walk away. If it does, great. It's a great trade either way. Of course, I do expect it to go in my favor, but if it doesn't, I'm not mad. Currently, it's floating around break even. You can see the buyers are kind of trying to push it on up, but yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they do, though. It's been dropping all session. The whole NYSE open, it has been dropping. So if it starts to chop around, hey, kind of expected that. It's like I took the obvious move, but there, believe it or not, to me it looks obvious, but to others, it's like there's a bunch of sellers down here. There's people that actually chase the price, and they're currently out of the money. So a lot of people actually had margin calls, blue accounts, took losses there during this whole entire rally on up, and I actually got in. So you can see the difference in psychology. Some people are chasing price. Some people might have got sells in up here, here, here. I don't know. I don't care. I just know that I got in according to my triggers and what I practiced. Yeah, I'm gonna start messing with NQ and S&P though, because like I said, euro dollar was just it wasn't it. It's been very choppy over the past year, and lately it's just been terrible. So that's why I kind of left it alone. And I figure, hey, everyone is doing NQ and S&P, so why don't I just join the bandwagon since it's the popular one to day trade nowadays? And if it's giving me some good setups, maybe this is going to be my new pair. Right now, it's taking a little bit of time. I don't like that. It's kind of hesitating to drop, and I just don't like that. So we'll see. See buyers stepping in, currently out of the money now. Want to be in the money. But hey, no hesitation. There's no trailing my stops, nothing just yet. It's whipsawing. That's what I call this current price action right now. It's just whipsawing. That means when price is just not really going anywhere, it's going basically back and forth between the highs and lows of the prior bar. And if it does that too many times, I may consider exiting early, but under very certain specific circumstances. So for right now, I don't plan on exiting just yet, unless it hits my hard stop, which is at that end of that red box. But I don't have a bull setup right now, so it would be kind of odd to see buyers step in. Not saying they can't, anything can happen. I do not control the markets, but it would be kind of odd to see buyers step in just because it's been a really strong drop all day. Do I like this PA? Nah, I don't like what's happening because I'd like to at least see me being in the money a little bit more before this starts to whipsaw. But as you can see, it is just whipsawing. So I need to see bears push it down, get on out of this area, at least bring it on down to 21,496-ish before y'all start doing that, so I could at least get my trailing stop to break even. I'd prefer that. Get out of there. Take them out of there. What are you doing, bears? Where's all those sellers that was just there? Y'all better start showing up, taking these bulls down. Live cattle wasn't doing good. Take these cattle down. Turn these bulls into cattle. Like I said, I always have an expectation when I'm in a trade, of course. I'm not predicting. It's just I expect it to drop. I wouldn't be investing in this setup if I didn't expect it to drop. So do I have a bias? Yes. Am I married to my bias? No. I adapt to what the market information is given in front of me. So there we go. Sellers stepping back in. Not euphoric. Emotions are out the window. Just very neutral. Reading it as it goes. I like to bring it to break even, but my rules are rules. I need to see at least 1 R in the money. And right now we're like 0.5 R in the money. So where's the blood? Where's the bloodshed? Maybe they're taking a break. The sellers are taking a break. Come on. All right. See how I'm getting ready. Trailing this close to break even, but not just yet. I'm going to bring it right above there. So at least my worst case scenario is that I'll be losing about 0.5 R. Worst case scenario, now that I've rewarded myself with a trailing stop, but we may perhaps continue. So just give it a moment. See, nice drop. Bears came in, triggered me in, but anything could happen. So it could come back up, stop me out. I would like to see it drop and give me some bread for the day. So along the way towards my profit target, I do have little checkpoints, and I'll be updating y'all in just a moment. So currently I am up 1 R in the money. I want to see how far this goes. Maybe NQ is my new chirp, my new pair. Like I said, I just had an epiphany the other day. It's kind of thought popped up in my head. I was just like, it was a post. I saw a post on Twitter, and it just someone mentioned that the euro dollar was not doing great lately. And I just thought about it, and I was like, hey, you know what? You're right. Maybe it's time that I update what I'm watching, what I'm trading, because at the end of the day, we got to make money. And if the pair's not moving, there's other things that are happening. And if you're stuck looking at one thing that isn't going anywhere, then you're missing out on all the other opportunity, because the markets are moving. If it's not in one place, hey, you might have to look somewhere else. Y'all saw that I was looking at different pairs, and I managed to find one that was moving that I did like. And this happened to be the one I'm in. So it's just a process of selection. Like, what do I choose? What do I like? What do I want? There's a whole process that goes on behind getting into this trade and into this setup. So when y'all do see a screenshot, you can at least see that the start, and you can refer back to this video and see the entire process. It's not just that I'm just taking a trade because I'm getting a signal or whatever. It's an entire process behind this. And no, I'm not, oh yeah, jumping up and down, going crazy. I don't do that. I'm not. I see some YouTubers doing. I don't know. It's not my personality. Maybe some people, they have a lot of caffeine or they're really cranked up, but I don't do that. All right, so I'm going to be getting aggressive on this trailing stop as we get closer to 2R. Let me just see where the 2R is. I'm going for 2.5, but maybe we get there. Maybe we don't get that. But we're still not there. So let me just let price continue playing out. If I'm bored, I'll just mark up my chart. There's plenty to do. Just don't take trades when you're bored. Do not take random trades when you're bored. And do not get too tight if you're not supposed to. So this is a TC South. Beautiful entry. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was a wonderful entry. I don't have any, comments against it. It did exactly what I was expecting. In the meantime, we could watch the other pairs because there's nothing to do on this one. We can see that the buyers are stepping in slightly on the live cattle, but it's, very slightly. So if we do pop above this last 3-minute highs, we may get triggered in north, but I'm not taking it. I'm already in my trade and I'm overtime. So this is my one trade of the day. I'm just going to let it play out and finish, and then I'll call it a day. And you can see euro dollar, it's still doing nothing. I mean, I don't have a setup on euro dollar. I don't like it. So NQ is it. That's it, y'all. See what happens. Worst case scenario, lose 33, but we'll see. Pretty optimistic on this pair, just a little too soon. Buyers could step in at any moment, but I don't have a reason to trail my stops just yet. Trading is boring, y'all. It's not supposed to be super fun. So I said I don't do the whole jumping around and going crazy. And I always operate under uncertainty. I don't know. I never know 100%. Right now, I have no clue. Just giving y'all that little heads up. Okay, so if this one triggers further down, I'm going to trail it to collect a little profits. So as it goes in my favor, I do reward myself. And that's what I mean by use the trailing stops to reward yourself. So Once it passes the last 3-minute interval lows, I'm going to trail it and reward myself. That's discipline. You're waiting for price to react. You're waiting for the market to tell you, okay, now you can move it. I'm not closing out too soon. I'm not getting too greedy, but at the same time, I'm very uncertain. Everything is uncertain. So this is pushing on lower. I'm bringing to break even. Matter of fact, collect something. See that? So what is that? 0.3, 0.4 R, at least 0.3 R. So worst case scenario, I collect 0.3 R for the day. But yeah, it's a profitable day either way. It's a winner. But I'm going to let this play out and see how far it can go. It's still not even up 2R yet. I would like to see at least 2R, especially after that nice drop. The last trigger was way up here, back around 22.45. Beautiful, but it was just right above the daily high, daily lows, and I don't like that. Yeah, see, this one is hesitating, so we'll see. Either way, one thing I do know is the sellers are losing steam. And if I was anticipating a short, maybe I missed my entry. I'm not interested in selling it right now. Not unless I see more sellers step in. Maybe we get trailed out, or I get trailed out because I'm the only one in this trade. Maybe we'll see. 23 seconds. Buyers are stepping in. You see that? So this is my first video I'm doing in a while, just because I figured, hey, I haven't done one of these public appearances in a while. Let me just show y'all that I still got it, you know. Doing a lot more private. I have been trading daily. Just been doing a lot more private one-on-ones. Fully booked on my schedule. So recordings are done. It's just shared with my clients. And no, this is not my, I have other accounts I use. So this amount right here, this is not what I make in a day. This is just based off of this account size and this combine, showing y'all that are currently doing Top Step and these type of combines, how I would do it based off of, the rules and the regulations that they have. You got to make sure that you're respecting their rules so you don't get disqualified. So currently I'm up a little, like 1.5 R. I don't want to close, but I do want to get aggressive. So you see that nice drop. I'm collecting at least 0.6, 0.7, 0.8 R. It's getting on down to that 2R zone. I want to see how low we can go. How low can you go? I'm almost up 2R. Getting really aggressive on this. I know it can bleed more, but I also have my own psychological barriers, and I'm still trying to improve on that. But I do like this. I don't want to give this back. So if it does start to stall out, I'm going to close on out. So you see what's happening, 128, 124. I could keep the 1 bar aggressive because that's what I was taught. I mean, I taught myself that, but that's what I practiced. So I'm going to stick to my rules, even though I do feel like closing out now, just because it is up 1R. I got to respect my rules at the end of the day. So if it does trail me out at 63, I'll just collect that. But if it rewards me with more, awesome. See, that was about 2R though. That's why I said that. I want to collect about 2R on this. I don't want to go too heavy. So let's close out.
Order filled.
Just because 2.5 is a little bit of a far reach, and I don't like that. So let's collect that. Nice. And I'm going to do a calculation in just a moment. So where did price close? Like right around here. Call it a day, y'all. It was a great trade, great day. Just want to pull that back. 1.26 R for the day. So gonna mark that up right here and call it a day. Plus 1.26 R. Just give me a little confidence for the week. start the week off with the winner. I'm glad we were able to have that documented and recorded. I do believe this will continue down, but like I said, I have psychological barriers that's preventing me from wanting to hold through. And also it did hit that 2R just about. I know it can continue dripping like it's doing now, but collect this, collect that, little winners here, little winners there. Great trade. Great trade. I'm just going to mark off my chart with the notes. Wonderful rally. A wonderful drop into NY Open or NYSE Open. Okay, pre-market. Oops, forgot to put the E. I'm that tired, y'all. I'm also tired. So it's crazy how I just got up, started my session late, been traveling all day, jet lagged, everything, and still hopped on this and did it in front of you all. Pre-market context showed ideal conditions with triggers working most of the time. A conflict was lower movement. D4 NYSE open, but PA improved. So I participated in the action. And was that a good exit, y'all? You tell me. Was I spot on with my exit? I think so. See the buyers coming in now. I knew it was getting weaker. I was saying if we had a strong drop to the downside, why did price start to hesitate after I got in? That was my biggest question. It's like, what's going on here for, we seen this drop. Let me just go back to my Google Meet so I can draw it. All right. So yeah, we seen, oh, are you still there? Yes, stay in the call. All right. So we seen this drop. It was okay. Then we've seen this really nice drop, which is showing an increase in velocity and magnitude. Then we've seen a minor pullback. It wasn't anything compared to this drop. You can see the sellers are way stronger than the buyers. Then I got triggered in. And after that, before I got my trigger in my head, I already played it out. I was already scenario planning. So I already said that I need to see price kind of drop, I want to see what it did here. And if it does not do that, then I want to get a little bit aggressive and I trail out. And that's exactly what happened. I actually got out at a better price. And I do like that. I'm going to update you all afterwards on my Twitter. It's going to be in the description below this video. But yeah, a really nice day. Plus 1.26. I can't even read that, y'all. My eyeballs are messed up. 1.26R. And yeah, looks like PA could continue dropping, but yeah, I did good. I did great. So pat myself on the back. Good job, Baja. Great trading day. And I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. Probably not record because this is not always free. This is just for the public, show my parents, show that I do this. And hey, I'll be back tomorrow. Logging out. Exactly what I do. I go to this tab and I press that log out button. So y'all have a great day.